and welcome to my channel. Today I've got another makeup tutorial for you. This time I wanted to go for more of a summer look. And I wanted to make it glam. Really what I wanted to do was to just do summer colors, but do a cut crease with a line going through the crease. And this is what we ended up with. So let's hurry up and get on to it. I'm just gonna start off priming my eyelids as usual. I don't know why I still show it, because it's the same thing every single time. But anyway, it just feels incomplete without it, I guess. But the point is, after this, well, I don't know. Like, I don't think this is necessarily going to be the easiest way to accomplish what I want to accomplish. But I always do stuff my own lazy way, which is usually more complicated than a not lazy way. I just do what I like. I just use the methods I like. So I'm gonna start off with mapping out where I want the colors to be beforehand. So basically what I mean by that is, I'm going to, well, map out where I want stuff to be, rather than to, like, basically you could just do the crease first, then remove product, put on concealer, do the second layer, remove product, put on concealer, and then put on more color. But there's like 500 steps, and I'm not the sort of person who does that. I don't like having to remove products and reapply products, because then I get worried about my skincare and everything, because at that point obviously there's not going to be any eye moisturizer left. So that just irritates me. Not gonna do that. Instead I'm just going to map out where I want everything to be. So basically the top thing is where the crease darkness is going to be. Then I want a metallic silverish, I don't know what kind of color. I want a shimmery line in between. I don't know what color I'm going to use actually. We'll get there. And below that is going to be a different color. So basically I'm just making sure that I put it up high enough that if I have my eyes open, that you can still see the color that I'm going to put on the eyelid. And preferably make it somewhat even with the other eye while you're at it. Now for the blending we're going to go from this to this. Yeah. So I'm grabbing a slightly darker shade, sort of a caramel shade, on a pencil brush. And just going to very carefully apply that above the, well, on top of the line and above the top line. Just to make sure it is a bit nice and dark there. And then I'm going to use a very tiny brush to highlight my brow bone, because at this point we only have a very teeny tiny amount of space left there anyway. And then I'm going to use a blender, tiny little blender. Go into the caramel shade and go into the almost nude shade. And then I use to map everything out, and then I'm going to use that to blend up here. Obviously you gotta cater this to your own eyelid space. You might have more space than me, in which case you can do more blending, or you might have less space, in which you can do less blending. I mean, just, you know, make it suit your own eye shape. And this doesn't need to be a very obvious shadow or anything. Like, I really just want it to be there. I want it to exist. But I don't need it to be, like, especially, like, dramatic and out there. Like, it's basically just going to be a detail within the entire thing of the look. Now I'm just filling in my eyelid space with a salmon color. And don't forget to leave that gap here, you know, between the crease shade and the eyelid shades. Yeah. By the way, I'm using this particular color. I really don't know how to describe it. It's sort of pink, orangey, pale. Not quite pastel, but almost. I don't know. And I'm just using a very short, flat, stiff eyeshadow brush. It really packs on the color. And gives me a lot of control, so I don't go over the line up there. Also, by the way, I'm using the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. If you want to use that too, that's fine. Generally, obviously, whatever products I use, I like. And if you want to know what products I use, I always put them below the video in the description. But yeah, like, you really don't need to use the exact same products as I do. Like, I still feel, even though I pretty much say it every single time, a lot of people in general, I mean, not just in my videos, but like, a lot of people in general just seem to feel like they need to use the same products as the YouTubers are using. You don't need to use the exact same products as the YouTubers are using, because keep in mind, especially people who are bigger than me. You know, like in terms of channel size. They usually get PR packages, so obviously they can easily just have the newest products to show you all the time. You know, but like, let's be real here, nobody is going to like spend like 1,200 euros or dollars or whatever on makeup every single month. So, you know, just use whatever you have, just use whatever you like. And as long as the colors are similar, then you can get the same results. Or you could just look at the technique that I'm using and just, you know, make your own spin of it. Like, do completely different colors. Just, makeup is art and makeup is like self-expression. So, really just, you know, do what you want, basically. Then the next part is adding the stripe. That's going to be the only shimmer part of this look. Well, to be fair, the brow bone highlight had a little bit of shimmer too, but it barely stood out anyway. But anyway, I'm just following the line that is left, like the line of bare eye primer. Oh, and also, yes, this is actually my eyebrow brush. If you, like me, use an angled brush, it's actually your eyebrow brush. Don't forget to clean it before using it for eyebrows again. Because otherwise you're going to be left with vaguely turquoise glittery eyebrows, which is a look, I guess, but not a look that most people will on an average day go for. I'm probably going to forget and regret it massively, but anyway, but yeah, I'm just packing it on here. This eyeshadow palette, by the way, Born to Run, is very, very pigmented. So I'm just using the eyeshadow as is. If whatever eyeshadow you're using is less pigmented, you can always make the brush a little bit damp with just plain water or setting spray or something. Something eye safe, obviously. And just, you know, use the eyeshadow wet. That will usually make it a little bit more opaque. A little bit more like a liner. So that can help a lot too. Then, onto eyeliner. You could do something subtle, but I felt like go big or go home today. So I'm already home actually, but that's not the point. Anyway, I'm connecting my wing to the where the turquoise end basically, because I just feel like doing a big wing today. Now, that's finally on there. I want to make the above the turquoise crease part a bit darker. So for that I'm just going to use my eyebrow brush again and place the caramel shade right above the turquoise shades. So just all around the, well, all on top of above the turquoise bits. And then I'm going to go in with the tiny fluffy blender again and a little bit more of that same shade, the caramel one, and blend it out. To make it look a little bit more interesting on top. Okay, I think this is so far so good. I'm just going to go quickly do my face base, just a quick easy face base, and then I'll return to finish the eyes. And the face is on. Basically I used BB cream and a, wow, I have a zit in my neck, that's just annoying. Anyway, you probably wouldn't even have seen that if I hadn't pointed it out, damn it. Oh well, point being, I used BB cream and concealer. You can also go for foundation, whatever you want. Yeah, just basically a face base. Then I used the blush. This one is by Yves Rocher. It's called Rose Peach. Peach. It's supposed to sound French. But it's basically the same color as the eyelid color, but paler. So it fits with it nicely, obviously. My highlight is Glow Fusion by KIKO, which looks like this. It's pretty much the same shade as my brow bone highlight. Yeah. So it's warm, shiny, golden-ish, but it's lighter than the brow bone highlight and also a bit more glowy as opposed to actually shimmery. So I think it is complemented really well without bringing too much shimmer onto my face. And totally against my own principles, I went for a dewy finish rather than a completely matte finish. I'm trying to get more into that, like embrace my oily skin rather than fight it with all my might. So I used the Continuous Setting Mist by Morphe in Sweet Peach, the one that's spelled funny, which for the record smells so much like fruit candy that it now makes me crave a lemonade for some reason. Not yet sure if I count that as a good thing or not, but anyway, but yeah, now back to the eyeballs. This is basically what we're going for. I'm going to start off with the side of this flat brush and a black shade. Make sure there's no fallout. This black actually has shimmer, but you can't tell if you apply it like this. To play it safe, you could also just use black without shimmer to begin with. And I'm just blending it towards where my under eyelashes end. Like so, and now it's immediately way darker than the other side. I'm going to have to make the other side darker. How did I just drop my brush? I just stepped off my brush and my brush went flying. That's weird. Anyway, yeah, just gonna make sure the other eye is equally dark. And then the idea is to grab the tiny fluffy blender, blend out this side first. Okay. And then move back to the peach salmon shade, the eyelid shade basically. On the tiny fluffy blender, and I'm just going to use that to make the bottom eyelid look nice and smooth as well. Like, this doesn't need to be very obviously salmon colored. I just want the color to be there slightly, just a hint of it, just to pull everything together. Then I'm just wiping off that brush really well on a face halo, and then going into the highlight shade. The same as on the brow bone. The brow bone, I feel like I pronounced it really weirdly. Anyway, I'm just applying that in the inner corner, and I did also make sure to put my concealer in there really well, so it's really nice and bright now. Then just coloring my waterline with Nude. Nice and bright. And then, time for falsies. This is of course optional. You can also just skip this and just add heaps of mascara. Yeah. But I just feel like on me the falsies do actually add something. More eyelashes to begin with. I don't know, I just like how it looks on myself. I am adding quite a natural pair because my contact lenses are at the end of their month. And I know I'm going to get really irritated eyeballs if I go for big falsies. So yeah. Okay, admittedly that was a bit more difficult than I anticipated. That's not, well, that's sort of the lashes fault, but actually is my fault. This is the Soulmate by xoBeauty, which are my favorite natural eyelashes. Only I once bought a pack of like 5 or 6 of them. And this is only the second pair because I keep using them way beyond their actual lifespan. I really should replace them is what I'm trying to say. Because at this point the lash band is like all crooked and all, and that's why this side is standing up a little bit more than the other side. It's just cracked and it's falling apart, and I really need to replace them, but I'm a cheapskate, so that might take a while. But anyway, I'm just going to use some mascara to glue them onto my own falsies, onto my own eyelashes a little bit better even. And then I'm just also going to apply just a tiny amount of mascara on my bottom lashes as well. Then, lastly, the lips. This is going to be a little bit of an experiment because I just don't have the exactly right color that I want. So I'm going to use this one, which is a matte, but it's a bit more pink than I want. And this one, which is not a matte, but it's also a little bit more the color that I want, but it's actually too pale for me to use separately. I don't like how it looks on me. So I'm going to apply this first and then apply this in the center of my lips. And hope for the best. Wish me luck. Okay, I gotta admit, I do like the color how it turned out, but I would have preferred it to be a bit more, I don't know, orange for this look rather than pink. On the bright side, I now have a great excuse to buy more lipstick, because I really need a lipstick in this particular shade, apparently. But yeah, anyway, I'm quite pleased with how it looks by now, so we're done. And that leaves us with the final results. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and that you liked this look. If you did enjoy this video for whatever reason, please click the like button, it would really help me out. And if you want to see more of my tutorials and also other videos randomly, you can always subscribe to my channel. For now, as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope to see you next time. Bye!